It's been said that the people who love you the most are the ones who are most likely to hurt you the most. The greatest pain we often find inflicted upon us comes from people who are already close to us, people who are in our families and certainly in our church fellowship. Please join me for the next few minutes as we talk about church hurt and how we can deal with it from the biblical perspective. My name is Kwame Rubadiri, and you're watching CITAM Church Online. Jesus said these words in Matthew chapter 18. He said that if your brother or sister sins, go and point out their fault, just between the two of you. If they listen to you, you have won over a brother or a sister. That's from verse 15 of chapter 18 in Matthew. Now, Jesus begins this chapter by talking about the children and the importance of not offending. People asked him, who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And he talked about how innocent children are to be seen as the greatest in heaven because they have no guile, they have no ill motives towards other people. They love to work together and to play together, regardless of their gender, regardless of their race, regardless of their background or even their family status. But as we grow up, sadly, we begin to take on practices and attitudes and misgivings about other people that we tend to carry against them. And so offense comes into our lives. And Jesus begins to talk about, in this particular situation, where you have an offense or something that needs to be corrected in your relationship with a brother or a sister in church. Church hurt is way too common in our day and age. And sadly, it can be over many different things. It can be over political differences. It can be over finances. It could be over something that someone said to you that you didn't like. And unfortunately, it creates a wedge and a division which can sometimes grow, not just between the two people who have been offended, but even into their families and to various other circles. People who have been hurt in church need to take this approach in order to address this situation. The Bible says that if your brother or your sister has been caught in a fault or has offended you, go to that person, tell them about the fault that you sense, and ask them for forgiveness or seek to forgive them if they have been offended by what you have done. In so doing, the Bible says in that close-knit relationship, where it's just the two of you in the presence of God, and you're able to sort out your differences, it doesn't have to go to a wider field. It doesn't have to involve more people. It doesn't even have to go to those who are leaders within the church. And if you can solve that issue right amongst yourselves, right there in church, and if more and more people did that in our churches, we would have less division, we would have less acrimony between ourselves and other members of the church, and we'd have less church splits and differences amongst us. It is my hope that of all the places where people need to get along with one another, all the places where we need to forgive one another and work together for the glory of God, it must be and should be in church. So if you've been offended for any reason, whether recently or even in the past, maybe it's something that happened to generations ago, find ways to approach the person that you hold some offense towards. Ask them if we can work this out by the grace of God and see what God does to bring healing and restoration. There's no reason why any more of us should remain hurt or injured in a place of love. God bless you.